Hi, it's John Romita Jr. San Diego Comic-Con. Fantastic Comics in Berkeley is the best shop in the world, hands down.
Listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, fuck off.
Eat.
Dusty, go on over to that piano.
Oh, no.
No.
I haven't played in so long. I couldn't. Been a long time.
All right. We're going to do a little number for you, but remember, we're a bit rusty, so bear with us. Just like the old days.
All right.
Maestro?
My little buttercup has the sweetest smile. Dear little buttercup, won't you stay a while? Come with me where moonbeams paint the sky, and you and I might linger in the sweet by and by. Oh, dear little buttercup, with your eyes so blue. Oh, little buttercup, you're a dream come true. You and I will settle down in a cottage built for two. Dear little buttercup, I love you.
Everybody!
My little buttercup has the sweetest.
Yes, my
Great.
Dear little buttercup, won't you stay out?
Well.
You and I will settle down in a cottage built for two. Dear little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, my little buttercup, I love you.
Holy moly, look at my date! She's a super villain, possibly a Medusa. Dean, I am not kidding. She has rope for hair and a shiny costume. Aw, not fair, she's wearing goggles! Told you she would dig my Batman suit, but no.
Throw out your hands, stick out your tush, hands on your hips, give them a push. You'll be surprised you're doing the French mistake. Voila!
Shit. Have you got it? Yes. Sounds like steam escaping.
Hello.
Hi, Doctor. I'm Cancer Boy.
And what would you like to say to the doctor?
I'd like to thank you for your marvelous drug.
Oh, are you on it, Cancer Boy?
No, there is no hope for me. But my parents are on it, though. They were so very low, not just because of me, but because my brother was born with his heart on the outside of his body.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Nice to make your acquaintance.
Ow.
Sorry.
That's okay. My marrow's just low.
Yo, check this out. Black guys drive a car like this. Ding ding. Yeah, but white guys, see, they drive a car like this.
It's true. We're so lame.
Let's get back to
right. So these punks,
yes.
I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
Wow.
But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces.
Your pieces.
My guns.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang! Try to shoot them in the back. But I don't run so good either. Anyway, you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
All right, come out or I'll blast you out.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Now everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with Hacha. Just watch this chorus steps.
Originally settled as Ocean View during the 1850s, the city's population boomed with displaced
But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
That's right. In my own way, I am the king. Hail to the king, baby. I think we all gotta just create our own little fiefdoms, and everything can be okay as long as you can hold it together, right? You got a bunch of knights and lords and ladies and all that stuff. However you want to put whoever in whatever category, I don't really care, as long as it works. Excuse me for a moment. I'm doing a little gardening right now. Welcome to Fantastic Comics, everybody. My name, well, why should I say it?
My name is Yule Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California.
That's right. I'm over here in not Berkeley, California right now. California still. Thank God I'm in California. I say that every day of my life, all the time. If I mention God at all. Oops. Is that dirt? Is that a hole? Okay. Nothing finer than being on the West. West is the best. Jim Morrison said it. It's true. You know what else he said? Probably had an F word in it. It's too early for that. Please. Thanks to everybody. For those of you that don't know, this is a show about comic books from a comic book retailer and lifelong fan of comic books. I cut my teeth reading comics with Spider-Man, Justice League, Batman. Sounds like a triumvirate if you ask me. Cartoons, Super Friends when I was a kid. Reruns of Spider-Man, can spin a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out. And we talk about comics, things that we talk about in the store, I don't usually make it too serious, although sometimes the subject matter becomes a little serious, and you can't ignore it. We took a break last week. I wasn't feeling very well. The day after, that day, Tuesday, last Tuesday night, I just said, I don't want to do it. But I wonder if maybe somehow my body knew, my mind knew, even though Yule I couldn't express it verbally or physically that I wasn't feeling well. It was already starting to shut down. And I went into work, and thanks with my helpers, my helpers work on Wednesday, I was able to get the stuff out and have somebody come in and run the store without me. That's always a scary endeavor. And if you were promised anything, too bad. If that phone was actually answered, too bad. We'll get to it. But that's some of the stuff that happens when you're the only employee of a store. Not even really an employee, because employees get paid way more. Trying to make that not be a thing this year. So that's the whole goal of this year, is to bleed the company dry now that we're finally looking good. Take up money, invest it horribly, and bleed it dry, and then run. Not unlike some of not unlike Diamond, the distributor of comics. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So yeah, we talk about things that happen in the store, which is going to be the majority of the show, because, man, it was just, there are moments where everything comes together properly, and multiple days and weeks and weekends, and you just try so hard, and sometimes you're trying and you don't even realize what you're trying to get, and it's just it's cool, and it can happen in the store for me, because that's my focal point more often than not. In the daytime, it's either home or at work. And at work, it's where I have all these different opinions and ideas and people that I have conversations with. And sometimes they're short, sometimes very cursory, sometimes they're only about the subject matter, and sometimes it's other things I don't know about, things I know just a little bit about, some things I can really sink my, no Hemingway conversations, which is a shame. But yeah, so I didn't show up on last Tuesday. I'm sorry. Not that sorry. Ever since I had to travel home to visit my dying mom, it hasn't been as important to continuously come back in here. There have been things within the show / the store that have been very, very important, and all of that's been addressed. So things are good that way. And yeah, blah. We're going to talk about some wrestling right now. I know everybody's really looking forward to it. A whole minute of wrestling. All right, let's try and make this one quick. Saturday night's main event was something I actually watched when I came home, and since it was only like 2 hours, I actually watched my computer's telling me something. I watched every match, and I paid attention to it, and I didn't fall asleep beforehand, and it was pretty good. No, it was kind of boring, really. Gunther defended. In fact, not only was it horrible, it wasn't a great show, it was just a good show. There were good matches and things for people to pay attention to. Gunther defended against main event Jey Uso. Yeet. And all during the match, Michael Cole had to keep calling him Gunther. The ring and a raw, or whatever he says. Gunther. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. If the guy who's announcing this freaking thing can't tell you who the guy is. Michael Cole got some love for a while, but I think he should be in everybody's doghouse as one of the worst. Screw him. All right, and then there was Raw, and the big. So, firstly, I know there's SmackDown. I don't watch that. I don't have USA. I don't watch AEW. I have HBO. That'll cost some money, Lane. No, I'm just joking. I mean, it's like that's like a doc thing. Anyway, Raw was very good show, like an excellent Netflix episode. And it started off with Logan Paul coming out and interrupting some dudes talking about wanting to be in the Royal Rumble and throwing all these other dudes out. And then Gunther came out, and of course, everybody addressed him properly in the ring. Speaking of appropriate attire, look at Seth Rollins over there. Anyhow, Gunther came out, interrupted, and then of course Logan Paul came out, and everybody got to booing him and everything. It was a good it was a good little conversation. The big story though that was going on in the show was Sami Zayn having lost 10, never won against Drew McIntyre, never once. They're gonna have a match tonight. And it's really big because, it's on the road to Royal Rumble and you want to get some momentum and it'll do something for a guy that's, 1-10 isn't a great number, but 0-11, woof, guy's got your number. I mean, a guy's got his number anyway. Last week, this happened with Sami Zayn when Drew McIntyre was involved with Seth Rollins. So kind of tying into the beginning of the show, too. Seth Rollins talked to him backstage and was like, can I trust you? I mean, you can trust me. So, well, if you do it again, later on, when there was a match, Cody Rhodes came out to help against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre won, by the way. And this happened.
Oh, no!
Could something be happening? Cody Rhodes has a match with Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble. And Kevin Owens, a friend of Sami Zayn, a longtime friend, said, I'll give you first shot if I win. And it's a ladder match, too. But after he was done getting beat up by Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes was still out at the end of the show to talk to his hometown crowd. And who came out to interrupt?
The bad news is that somebody is me.
Did you see that nice little transition with the camera work right there? I liked it a lot. The blur and then the pullback. Nice stuff. Yeah, CM Punk came out and wanted to let him know that I am going to win the Royal Rumble and I'm coming for you. In fact, he says it this way.
And because I'm your one true friend, I'm going to stab you in the front.
Because all his other friends have been stabbing him in the back. Sami Zayn, just a few seconds ago. And Cody Rhodes was really good. It was like he was really slack-jawed, but like he just got kicked and kept it the whole time, kind of talked that way. Looked like he might have been a little concussed when he was trying to put the things out. And I thought he did a really great job. This was an excellent Raw. There was all sorts of other stuff that really tied together and led to the obvious, we're going to have a match with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. And there's also going to be a 2 out of 3. My one, that's my favorite gimmick. A tag team or a regular singles 2 out of 3 falls match. Got the Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY, the tag champs. And then 2 Royal Rumble matches, one with women and one with men. Who's going to win? There's so many possibilities, and John Cena's going to be there. That's enough shilling. Yeah, enough shilling. Yeah, I'm down. It's going to be this Saturday. Can't wait. Well, I have to wait. I can wait. And, of course, it'll be much after because closing up the store and whatnot. Not watching at the store. Ain't put it on your phone, so don't come here and be pulling that stunt. Anyway, yeah, wrestling. It's pretty hot right now. People are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. At least what I'm watching. The not watching all of it really helps. Watching it when you're alive, maybe not at the end of the evening, but in the morning, like I watched the Netflix today, so much easier to digest the mass. I fast forwarded a bit. I got to admit, not every match needs to. I don't need the whole story of an Natalia match or something like that. It's just not needed. How many times is just going to say the same thing over and over again? That's why she does that. She knows you're fast forwarding through her matches. So at least at one moment, you're going to hear her call someone a motherfucker or, something like that. The clean version. All right, let's say, let me get some pictures up. I know you guys love pictures. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about some news. Did you hear about Neil Gaiman? I know the last time we were on the show, we talked about Neil Gaiman and we talked about Diamond. Diamond filed Chapter 11, and I stupidly didn't name the show Neil Diamond. To me, that's funny. Yeah, so that happened. Image pulled away from Diamond. They said you can't distribute us anymore. Like they're upset that they are owed money, it sounds like, and they just don't want to do business with them anymore, which is a very, very different statement than what Eric Stevenson at Image said when DC left for greener pastures, obviously, at Lunar and CBCS or whatever the heck it is, at least at the time. And Eric Stevenson now, he said he called them like psychopaths, sociopaths, one of those paths for doing it, and was really, along with a lot of other people, very upset that people would leave Diamond because, it's going to hurt the company. And I guess it did. I mean, it wasn't just them, but they were the first shoe to fall, first shoe to drop. Neil Gaiman, I only have this picture with him and his wife, or at least ex-wife, Amanda Palmer. He's in trouble for having done some lewd things with nannies and fans and stuff like that. Regardless of how you feel about that or how it actually ends up shaking out, he has been released by Dark Horse Comics, or I should say they're not going to publish any more of his comic books. I assume that's going to be like an all-time thing. They have, Mark Miller and all sorts of other really good creators that are working over at Dark Horse, but they have to make a stand. They've had problems in the past with some of their editors, and they've gotten called out for some things and healthcare and all this other bullshit. But they are owned by another entity now. I think it got moved over to, was it a Swedish company? Some like video game, AI something. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, Neil Gaiman, I don't know how many shoes there has to for him that are going to have to fall, but pay attention to his Netflix Sandman series. Disney already said that they're going to stop doing production, or they've stopped production on the Graveyard. Blah blah blah. I can't remember the name of it. One of his all ages books, and being made into a movie. So that's something there. But like I said, as long as it's still in print, I will always have the Sandman in my store. At least the first 3 books. All right, so let's talk about some comic books that came out last week that were pretty good. This is usually based on how I felt about it, how you guys have told me about it, or maybe it's like leading up to the issue and including that issue, or just actually sales also. So coming in at number 5, it's best of 5 this week. We've got TMNT and Naruto, which was an entire sellout. It's doing really well. I've had to reorder it. There's a second print finally coming of number 1. And I think this has some legs. and people should definitely be picking this up and letting people that they know who like Naruto, which I guess supposedly there's a lot of people out there that are like that they might want to be picking up this book. All right, coming in number 4, partially because of sales and also because of the way I'm hearing it in my store. Absolute Wonder Woman is possibly the best absolute book going on right now. Now, almost everybody that gets Wonder Woman is getting all the other books, but this is the one they seem to be enjoying quite a bit. Coming in at number 3, we have Fantastic Four, One World Under Doom. Let me take that banner down for a sec. This one, 28. So this was a sellout with the exception of the Disney covers. I'm surprised somebody didn't get those. And I think I have more of these coming anyway, but this probably is should be letting me know that One World Under Doom is not going to suck as far as my customers are concerned. Fantastic Four already does pretty well, all right, and Doctor Doom obviously is a really popular villain. As far as popular villains go, what? Top 5, right? You can tell me if I'm wrong. If you want to tell me also what your favorite comic book company is after the fact, you can let me know in the comments down below. But right now we have a poll running. I put Marvel, DC, Image, Other. So you can put Distillery on for that one. That's Other. Coming in at number 2 is Ultimate Spider-Man number 13. Awesome issue. I've read it. Obviously, it sells very well. And it's great. I love the storyline. Craven's got Harry and Peter. He's got Harry Peter. He's got a Harry Peter combo going on, right now. And he's going to be hunting him down in Mole Man's Savage Land, where there's raptors. Peter just punched the hell out of a raptor in this one. Anyway, it's really cool. A lot of conversation. It's a Hickman book, but yeah, still really good. And lastly, we've got JMS, J. Michael Straczynski, and Will Robson doing some really fantastic artwork, doing Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon. This was pretty good. I thought it was very well written for a JMS book. I mean, I'm just not the biggest fan of his stuff. But if you are, then you're going to like this right off the bat. And like I've already just said, Dr. Doom is a popular character, villain. Rocket Raccoon's popular, if only because of the Guardians movies. But we all know that he was awesome when Mike Mignola was drawing him. In fact, that was the reason, right? That was the reason. Mike Mignola, you know what I mean? Or Mignola. Anyway, that is the best of last week. Let me know in the comments what you liked. Let me know in chat what you liked. We'll get to that in just a moment. We also were short some books like Wonder Woman. We didn't get in Void Rivals. We didn't get in World Tree. We didn't get in. I have a box outside, so we might not have too long a show. I have to get to that, and it's possibly going to be all those items I just said, plus some. Isn't that wonderful when you have to deal with stuff like that? Oh, the joys of running a comic store. And like I said, I was near death, so I just came home and went to sleep. And I woke up the next day. I think I had a popsicle. Can you believe it? I was like parched. I need something, but I can't eat anything. And so I was like, well, I'll have like a popsicle. And that's what I had for dinner the day I was sick. And then the next day I felt pretty well. I'm pretty good, but just kind of beat, worn out. And I didn't eat anything pretty much that day, like half a bowl of soup in the evening. And that was it. 16. Damn it. Excuse me. I'm trying to get these up while I'm talking to you. It's hard to do two things at once, you know what I mean? All right. All right, this is a good time to do it. I'm going to say this to each and every one of you, especially the live ones right now, because, it's all about you guys asking me stupid questions that's going to, keep this running longer than it needs to.
Hello. 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 Oh. Go. Look out. Hello.
Hello. All right. How exciting. Got all these comments built up. We got 14 people watching the stream. Got a beer I'm cracking open. Pouring. See if I can do this without screwing up. Oh, that's good. That's a good head, everybody. Right there. It's all in the tilt. But how do you get the foam down if it gets too big? Do you drink through it? What if it's like, I really screwed up? Just stick your finger in. Erica Sullivan was here early. He gets up early. So this is wonderful. Let's do this. Everybody say hello to Eric. Hi, Eric. My LCS is experiencing delays this week because of Diamond. No new Marvel this week. Are you experiencing anything like this? Lunar had a mistake. I have the box out front. Wonder Woman and all those books didn't come in. But I did get their books. I got all their other Image books, and everything like that. So accidents happen. That's forgivable. You take note, when these things happen and how often and in what way. Is it missing? Is it damaged? Is it carelessness? Is it, just something isn't working right and they need to be contacted? I don't usually do that. I do not order anything significant from Diamond other than Dynamite, Boom, and Titan comic books. And almost all my customers understand anyway that sometimes I don't get it till the day of because I'm not working on Tuesday. So sometimes I don't have the books out until the day after. Having said that, my Diamond came the day after the day after. I said, I didn't know there was anything coming. And supposedly that's going to happen again. So yeah, there's going to be people out there. Hopefully your stores have finally figured out they need to get a Penguin Random House account. Hopefully they realize Penguin Random House is an amazing account to have because you can get books too. And let's just say there's not a customer that gives a shit about you having a book, but you as an owner or an employee do. You get your books cheaper than if you buy them on Amazon. I can work with you. And I have ordered some books for people, so that's great. Fantinium, yo, yo, yo. We are all sick here. That's right. Who's sick here? Sick of our jobs, sick of our lives. God, sick of our jobs. That's in a moment. I'm going to see. It depends on the job, obviously. You want to buy in, Steve? I just don't think it can make enough for both of us. You know what I mean? But if you got some magic way to make it happen, come on in. We'll talk. I love my job, but it doesn't financially reward me. And I know yours financially rewards you, and you don't like it. It's always the way. We want our artists to be, really, do some amazing stuff, but a lot of times that comes with price. Our football players, we want our football players to be big and strong, but it comes with the price. When we find out about the CTE and all that other stuff, it's a killer. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jaguan too says, God, Lane, why'd you do that? Bad brand. comics sucking a majority of the time. I would suggest maybe they always suck the majority of the time. Or maybe, and I don't think it has anything wrong to do with you, or maybe even the comic books, but you have changed. Maybe it's again, I've said this before, maybe it's time to move on to that something else. There's plenty of other things, and as you move on in years, you figure that out. Or it's always been that thing that you've always liked, or never realized that there was a thing that you could have done about it. I don't know what to say. I know you like the physical media that you have, and that's pretty cool. But I don't know, I'm claustrophobic with just this paper that I have. And in the store, holy cow. Also, we need some Yule Power comic goodness with stories of heroes, silliness, and adventures in comic book reading. Well, that's definitely happening. Dude, it's happening. Joey Pill in the other room. Hello. Definitely. I'm going to tell you how lovely it is being a comic store owner. You're going to all be so jealous. Elithador, hey all. Hey. Sadly, sounds like all the distributors are shitting the bed, and my LCS may not have much on hand tomorrow. There's not much on hand anyway. Although there was actually quite a few books that I got thumbnails for. Not near mint. Any words of hope from Yule? Yeah. Words of hope. Oh yeah, totally. Shitting the bed, you're being too kind. They shat, pissed. This guy. They shat, pissed, vomited it, and then smeared it all around as if it was a Jackson Pollock painting. All right. I think yeah, so I will have my stuff in. And even last week's stuff. Joaquin, how's it going, man? Dwayne Muth. All right, nice to see you. Lord Gonzo. 174 day champion. All right. Oh wait, 175. Tried to call you on Wednesday last week, but the store said you were out sick. That's how you got answered. You're gonna find out why I don't answer the phone so much in just a sec. It's all one big story. Lord Gonzo, Rollins' attire is crazy artwork. It definitely is. He had those cool Astro Boy shoes that were super hot. I had a couple. I had a couple customers. I don't know if they're in here right now. And we were all talking about, should I get it? Should I get those? Cody should be afraid for his life. I like that. John's gonna win number 18. Yeah, I totally agree. It would be awesome because when it was ironical to like John Cena, I always said I was in the Berkeley chain gang. It sounds silly. He was all the Word Life, remember that? I had the Word Life WWE shirt, WrestleMania shirt. I got so many freaking comments. I mean, I got a lot of comments on my, working in a comic store and wearing t-shirts with prints on them. I have a certain style that I like to wear. Like, I really don't like things with a lot of words, and even this is way too it comes out way more than I like as far as the image is concerned. But that WrestleMania Word Life shirt, that was hot. That was such a good one. Yeah, Dark Horse Comics dropped its series. Correct. I'm not sure if there's one more issue and they're gonna do it, or one issue and they're not gonna do it. But yeah, it's getting canceled, and I assume no more. On this week's FOC, Sandman 8 Facsimile was listed from DC, while Dark Horse dropped mid-run. There we go. Answer. Yeah. Again, a little bit different, but man, I don't know what to say. I mean, if you do that, you're talking about they have tried to gravy. Let me put that back up. DC has tried to gravy train on Neil Gaiman for so long. We burned the Alan Moore bridge, and we kind of piss off Grant Morrison from time to time. And now he's quietly not cared about. And then, but we gravy train off Gaiman's legacy. That's the horse that they hitched to. And I don't think it ain't great shakes to drop Good Omens and American Gods and Anansi Boys and stuff like that. Seriously. Colleen Duran, who's a very nice person. Remember what I said about that Dave Sim picture, right? Colleen Duran, she's sweet. I mean, by all accounts, very smart, knows her stuff. She was crowdfunding with Gaiman, one of his books, like they needed to crowdfund. And I wonder how that's going, or if that's going to happen, or I wonder how that shakes out. That should be interesting. Yeah, I think DC could just say stop. But we're talking about Jim Lee, and he does like squeezing those pennies for every ounce. I bet Todd McFarlane is nothing but smiles recently with the news about Gaiman and Diamond. I don't know how petty he is. I do know that the financial genius he's made out to be is probably not true at all. He ain't no Yule Carter, you know what I mean? But the Diamond bit, I mean, it wasn't like he was really anti-Diamond, as far as I remember. But I mean, they Image signing exclusive with Diamond helped kill Capital. You know what I mean? But as far as the Gaiman bit, maybe a little bit. We even our friends from time to time, when they get a little bit of, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about friends, but people you're friendly with, and you find out that they have some adversity, you can, I don't know, little Schadenfreude. That's some bad Schadenfreude, though. That's when something bad then happens to you. You know what I mean? When that happens. I don't know how Todd McFarlane was like when, I mean, if he were to think about it even for a second about being happy about something, he would have to have the most perfect life. And he does seem like a pretty boring person, so. Lord Gonzo says the Graveyard Book. Oh yeah, just the Graveyard Book. Yule, do you think the Death Absolute Edition is worth getting? I usually don't think Absolute Editions are worth getting because their binding is shit. Okay. If you're gonna get a bad bound book, you should get their compendiums. But if you have to get the Absolute Edition, you have Chris Bachalo's artwork on Death, which has got to be great. I mean, I know it's great. It's great. And it's his early stuff, so it's not like he is today, but it's what he's going to become today. And it's just really wonderful. And it's definitely the progression from where he was before that, though. So somewhere in between. And after that, since he didn't finish the second Death, Mark Buckingham, awesome illustrator. He worked with Paul Jenkins on Spider-Man. And of course, the Mark Dringenberg story will be in there, the introduction of Death. Yeah, I think it's worth getting if you have to have it. It should be a monthly book. Wow, Doc and Wes ripped Thunder Toman number 4 apart as worst of the week. Well, of course they would. They hate King. A lot of plays with T's there. Don't know what to say. Wonder Woman's not selling that well for me. Wonder Woman doesn't sell that well for me. It's finally settling back down to where it was before Tom King took over. I had a good 8 months with it. If you can't tell by 8 months whether or not you like a book, it's just too fucking wordy. Okay? if he wasn't so wordy. He has to expound on everything and be very verbose. This ain't a fucking novel. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I'd say. This is not a fucking novel. Less is more. The guy. Let me see. Do I have any in here? Yeah, I got it. Some in here. Hold on a second. I don't usually do this. Fuck. I can't find them. Where's my book? It's got to be in that one. I can't. Oh, it's probably in here. Oh, yeah, that's it. All right. It's worth it, guys. Okay. So when Ed Piskor was alive, he would talk about outlaw comics and underground comics. And this is not Image. This is other. This is other. When you're talking about comic companies. It's called Blue Comet Comic. It's a Blue Comet comic. Oh, Craig. R.I.P. Look at the back cover, though. And the thing is like, that musculature is kind of funny. And anyway, that's pretty cool. It's Craig Storman with some other penciler. Storman always inked it or lettered it or colored it. He was the Al Milgram of crappy independent people. And he always wrote 3 10-page stories for his books. And it was art like this. Right? So not very good. But Richard Bonk, who does comics still, he worked on these. And this guy gets pinups from Rob Liefeld and other fools. And artwork by Louis Pardee right here. That's this one right here. But, you know, if you like that outlaw, independent, black and white thing, this stuff's great. Wonderful. And Craig told me, you know what the problem with first-time writers are? They always write too much. I'll write less. And, you know, especially in the 90s when I was trying to break in, if you like a Rob Liefeld comic or Wildcats sucked in the beginning, it was just way too wordy. It just got way too wordy. It was less wordy when Alan Moore wrote it. You know what I mean? When Joe Casey wrote it, it was way better. But it was just so wordy. It was like artists trying to impress on you that they're good, that they can get the job done, or this friend of an artist is gonna get this stuff done. Funny enough, The Pit, even less writing would have been better. I didn't make it. I didn't know Dale Keown back when he actually drew comics. It sounded weird to me from their review. Then again, I'm reading Superman Absolute, so yeah, okay. I just read Ultimate Spider-Man 12. Had interesting character moments, but I did find it boring as heck. How dare you? It's beautiful, beautiful one. Absolute Wonder Woman and Ultimate Spider-Man were great. Elithidor. Maybe I will read Absolute Wonder Woman. Wes had one where he was basically saying Kelly Thompson shouldn't be writing books, basically. I don't know. I don't read it, so I want to read the Wonder Woman by Tom King. I just don't have like a year to read one comic. Maybe when I'm a little bit more, you know, constipated, when I need a lot of brand. I'm reading the Room Rocket book right now. The Room Rocket book. What? Rockefellers? The Boom Rocket book. All right, good. All right, let's see. Yeah, Wes and co have some of the worst takes in comics I see on YouTube. He somehow really enjoyed Miller's recent Nemesis book, and it was just so bad. Well, I have people that I know that like the Nemesis books also, but I'm not really the biggest Mark Miller fan. It's a long time ago since he wrote that Authority book, you know what I mean? But I've enjoyed some of his things. I enjoyed MPH. I enjoyed Starlight. I enjoyed Big Game. I love The Ambassadors. That was very good. He should just go right back to that now. No more of this other stuff. Just ambassadors, ambassadors, ambassadors. It's always a difference. Well, you know what I mean. It doesn't always have to be that big story, but I just Hyde Street, Doctor Doom, Rocket Raccoon. Boom. Amen, Dwayne. Yeah, Doctor Doom and Rocket Will Robson. I think he's a Brit. He's very good. He does a really good job, and I think it might be actually ink too. So yay. As far as that other stuff, I just don't care. Hyde Street was really good though. The art is almost too good. I want a story with those. Rios, right? Ooh. I want a story with those piranha people in the fish tank. All right. Here's a new name, everybody. Fiddle Chips. It's very all right. So there was this MMO I played, and that's very similar to something that I called myself, but it wasn't anything like it. 75% of all comics ever made suck, but that 25% is wonderful. I think so. And the thing is that your wonderful comics that can only permeate your collection are probably in the other 75% as far as other people are concerned. I love making fun of Quasar. Y'all know that. Jagron too says, yeah, I mean, it's still, I still find series to like. Oh, I'm going to tell you about one in a little bit. But like X-Men, just cannot read the comics anymore. However, I am liking a Hulk a ton. And they got me to try Red Hulk since it's an adjacent character. All right. Gaiman was quick to throw gasoline on others. Now it's the witch hunt. Hope he likes it. You know, I had a customer that came in and it was like, I'm actually upset by how little I'm hearing from people like that you would expect to be throwing fuel on the fire, right? On him. But yeah, it's not happening quite to the length. I think, again, the whole waiting to see it shake out, but probably I think Dark Horse dropping him right there. Again, it's not a big deal that it's the Dark Horse books because nobody's really making a ton of money on that stuff probably. But it's a look they just don't want to have and save some money. Joaquin bought a Doom that was brought back to the store as a gift, I forget, and he purchased the George Perez cover, and he liked Doom. So that was Jonathan Hickman, and I erroneously said Chris Samney. I think it's I can't remember. It's somebody like that reminds me of him. I didn't get to read it. I sold out. You know what I mean? I'm sure y'all let me know. Doom. One shot of the year last year, maybe. Unless you put the original graphic novels. I don't know. All right. Let's talk about the store. Okay. We got sipping on this one. Wait. You know what? All right. So who was the person that drew Doom? It was Sanford Green, right? That's who it is. Not Samney. It's Sanford Green. All right. The store. Fantastic Comics, where a man can be a man. You don't have to be a man to be a man. I grew up in this bookstore. My dad would take me to bookstores. We had malls back in the day, and in those malls there were Orange Julius's and a little play area for the kids to hang out and not get stolen. And there was like little toy stores and clothing stores. Something for like, oh, your friend's turning 50 stores. Let's make fun of them. We had bookstores though, and we had a mall that had like 3 bookstores, and it was great because I'd get those little Marvel digests that had Spider-Man and the Hulk in them. Didn't like Fantastic Four. And I always went to bookstores, and my father took us to this one in Cabina on Azusa Boulevard. And you see Azusa Boulevard in the original Wayne's World when they're doing the Amadeus part. And there's this really great bookstore, and it was really opened up. It had aisles and magazines and different sections, and it had the sci-fi fantasy book section. And I mean, for a store that had a lot of everything, this was a really deep section, and it was just like, and all this other stuff. And I mean, it had, oh, I can't remember. I was probably more of a Piers Anthony guy back when I was a child. But I remember my father, who was a chatty guy, talking to the other patrons of the store and just kind of talking about books. Like he was a bookseller, but not a bookseller, just a customer. And I always thought that in comics, that'd be really cool if something like that were to happen. And unfortunately, in the small location that I have now, it's not quite so easy. But in the old place, it was just so much floor room, and I could lead people past other people, and I could talk to people when I'm leading them to other people, and all this other stuff. It was I could get really sore-throated at the end of the day, maybe cough in the middle of like a 3-hour conversation with like a shit ton of people. They're loaded up for bear, with all the Sandmans. But we moved to the old location, and of course the pandemic happened, and everybody was a shut in, and everybody was coming in with their masks and getting their stuff and leaving, I'm wiping down the counter. You can only wipe down the counter so often. I mean, I want to make a confession here right now. I didn't sing every word to Happy Birthday, okay? Does that make me a bad man? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, I've had people come and tell me that their visit to the comic store was like their only real human interaction other than like the drive-through counter or the grocery store with someone. And with me, it's always a lot more, substantial. That makes me feel good. You know, all those uh, all those humanities classes paid off. um, And one of my very, very first customers, in fact, when there was no good comic store in Berkeley to go to, people were resorting to go to Dr. Comics and Mr. Games. And as I was starting to get the store together to go and move, into what was eventually our location, one of my customers was there, and I let him know because he always like, "Yeah, is there anything you need?" Blah blah blah. I said, if I ever need anything, should I call on you? So no, but let me know when you open. And I said, okay. And of course, he's a great guy. He's a friend. We hang out and all this stuff. I mean, not hang out like we used to. Oh, those were the days. I was helping him out more than hanging out. I was hanging out and helping him. But it's hard, because I'm at the store all the time and hanging out with all of you. Anyway, Dane comes in on Sundays, and we usually have a little something to drink outside. And then recently, there's this other gentleman that comes by, and we hang out. And sometimes other people come as other people are leaving and stuff like that. And this is my job. Anyway, Dane comes in, and we're always sitting outside having a smoke. Having a whiskey or a whiskey, maybe a beer, and we're talking about comics, talking about this, talking about that. He doesn't watch the show. This is this show is that. This is everything. This is what this is. And every Sunday, let me see if I got the picture. Every Sunday, this drives down the street. And Dane always waves. And I never really, I'm like, every time we're like, what was that thing again? And he's all, well, it's a chicken truck. And I'm all, what, do they just serve you chicken? Can you order it and they bring it to you? He's like, I don't know. I haven't ever known. I don't know. And I never even knew it was called roadside rotisserie. Because I mean, I usually don't have my glasses on and I just see, the back end of the truck as it drives past the one time a week I ever see it. Because I do this on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays also. I know it's only on Sunday when this truck comes by. And we do this, if Dane comes by. It's not every time. We've had some bad air. Maybe it's raining. We can't sit outside. So it's kind of like Dane's always told me, this is one of the few times that he comes and hangs out, and has something to do. It's open air. It's really easy, We still have people that are kind of like a little skittish when it comes to hanging out. I think we can see it in our public market. We don't have the malls like we used to, so I hear. We don't have the shops like we used to. I mean, it always happens, it seems, that you had your mom and pop shops, and then eventually your town got big enough so it was able to service all the surrounding towns, and so it needed a Costco. And then what happens to those mom and pop shops? You know what I mean? And maybe not a Costco, but a Best Buy. Because there's a ton of Best Buys around anymore. And fuck it, I'll just order it online. There's nothing near me. Give Bezos more money. No. You know what? In the comments down below, in the description of the show, there's the link for this place. Okay, so you can go. Because let me tell you, after it's not weeks, it's not months. It's months. It's over a year. He's been waving at this truck. We're like, hey, eventually I'm waving with him. Hey, this truck goes by. The truck passes by and honks. Oh, wow. We've got acknowledgement now. This is great. It's like something's going on. You know what I mean? A couple weeks go by with this. And then finally, they stop in front of the store. Illegally parked, mind you. I'm like, what? And they say, hey, you guys are so awesome. Here's chicken. And I'm like, what? And so here you go. This is what they gave us. Well, I gave it to Dane. I mean, this is all him because once I took pictures of this, I was like, there ain't no way we can deal anything like this. Pipe in the background. Look at that rotisserie chicken. Yeah. And I want you to know, I gave you exactly the shot I would have seen if the truck was passing by when I had just missed it. Boom, baby. And Dane took that home and he ate it. And let me tell you what he said. Chicken good, would recommend. There you go. Old men tweeting. Anyway, we didn't ever think we were going to get a chicken. We just, I don't know. It was just a thing. So, in the comments down below, if there's any way you can let them know that Fantastic Comics sent you, they'll drop you off a chicken, I guess. It's at least, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I haven't done it, but that's something that happened. And I thought, that's really cool. This is like this movie that played out, and I was really not even. I was just only sort of part of it. I always wanted to be the shaman. That's what it was. I'll tell the story. Let me tell you the story. Many moons ago, John Byrne sat down at a table and he penciled 2 books a month for near 3+ years till the cow came home. Yeah, so there you go. Boom. Let's see. I really dug Ambassadors and Big Game, but I feel like Miller shot himself in the foot because now he can't tell small stories in that universe. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, maybe. How's your father? Hi, Yule. How's your father? Hi. Uh, oh, I sound far away. Oh, do I now? Let me look at my settings. Yeah, you're right. I do. That sucks. I hope it wasn't for too long. I didn't even touch anything. That's crazy. Bummer. Anyway, yeah, so that's something that happened. Let's talk about new comics coming out tomorrow, and I can get into oh geez, I guess I have to check in comics for tomorrow still.
Well, it's just an old run-of-the-mill Wednesday. The calendar's full of them.
That's right, calendar's full of them, and this is yet another one, last one of the month. Hit the bell for notifications and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Pay attention. We have a Patreon, Instagram, and Substack, and supposedly a phone number that ran earlier that people sometimes. Oh, outside it's really freaking loud. We are a small main street. There's only one lane going one way and one lane going the other way, and people parking in a residential area, and my store, and a couple other stores, but it's residential area. And we have one of, I swear, has to be one of the most dangerous streets to cross in car, in land, in air. I don't know why I changed it up like that. It's not fit for a human or an animal or even an automobile. It's not fit. I'm telling you. I guess a human is an animal. Any animal, except for the turkeys. And if you join the channel, you would know that. I mean, join. All right. You're like, hey, what about comics I want to buy or don't want to buy? You'll say there was going to be something that was pretty good. And you're right. I did say there was going to be something pretty good. Let's start with this one. I'm going to do this for a last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution number 4. Finally, another one of these coming out. I know you guys didn't know that number 3 already came out because it comes out so infrequently. But it's here, and so is number 3. I'm assuming it's like that for other stores too. That's a TMNT book, The Last Ronin 2. All right. Red Coat number 9, a Ghost Machine book. Interesting. Brian Hitch on art, Jeff Johns on most of the writing of all the Ghost Machine books. Most. Psylocke number 3. Really cool variant Villa-Lobos cover. Pablo. This what we got not named Scalp Hunter on the book. I really say that because I don't know what his real name is. I just know you're not supposed to say Scalp Hunter. Okay, with Quanin, not Psylocke, right? Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu number 4. Does this come out monthly? It just feels like it doesn't. I don't really read it. It's not because I don't like Judd McKay. I've read a lot of his Moon Knights. Well, I feel like 4 is more than a lot. It's just another one continuing the storyline, which I just don't really pay too much attention to. Is Tigress still in this? I like cover a lot, though. Look at the donuts. I'll tell you what, as far as the sheriffs and the police in Glendora are concerned, donuts are definitely not a valid stereotype. There you go. Deadpool number 10. All right, Wade Wilson is back. I never knew he left. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 6. Oh, I like that cover a lot. I don't read it. There's a reason. It's more of the anthropomorphic nature of the book. I like the turtles to be mostly the walking animals. And I just haven't seen evidence that this is any different than the other ones, although people did like them. X-Men number 10. Yeah, look at that. Cyclops stepping up. And this, Netho Diaz? Pretty good artist. Ultimate X-Men number 11. Peach Momoko, everybody. You know, I'm a fan. And I've read every issue. I'm caught up. The last one was kind of tough, but I'm still finding it enjoyable and at least interesting enough for me to want to keep going. Green Lantern number 19. I am all but caught up. I didn't read the special. And it's leading into Green Lantern Corps. And if you haven't read DC Space stuff, and I think the thing that's good about DC Space is it doesn't always have to, it's more of its own event rather than, all the other characters. You can really avoid Batman when you're Green Lantern, except for when you want sales. Jeremy Adams writes that, and Cam Monaco is the artist. A Sabretooth, Frank Thierry. Well, I almost would have said a blast from the past, except I was talking about Frank Thierry, you know what I mean? This guy's name is Sta Maria. What the hell? Is that a real name? It's got a period in it. Sta Maria? Is it a lady? What the hell is that? Anyway, pretty good artist actually, but in the mighty Marvel style of the 2010s, 20s. Image has a comic by Paul Azaceta, the artist, and Rick Remender, the writer, called The Seasons. And you know the rule for Rick Remender books, he's half good, half bad. So right now he's doing Grok, can't think of the grommets. No, that's good. He's doing Sacrificers, that's good. He's doing Holy Rollers, that's bad. And he's doing that other one that's bad. They have merits, but they're just not, nobody cares. So if you're going the on again, off again, it's probably The Seasons might be good. And if you read Robert Kirkman's his Exorcist book, he Azaceta did the artwork on that. I might get the wrong one. I might done got the wrong one on that one. Hellhunters number 2. It's got Wolverine in the past, everybody. Might he kill a Nazi? I don't care. Superman Lex Luthor special. That's right. There's so few DC books, you have to look to specials this week for something to read. Miss me? Yes, I did miss you, Lex. Please come back and be the villain we need you to be. Yeah, there you go. West Coast Avengers, Jerry Dugan and somebody Kim and somebody Nestle and probably colorists, so who cares? West Coast Avengers. I never liked it. Even John Byrne couldn't make me like it that much. Pretty cool cover, though. Hate Ultron. Hate Ultron as a villain, and I hate Ultron as a good guy or a funny robot. I don't care. Ultron sucks. How you like that? I said something. Nightclub 2, Mark Miller, the aforementioned. I don't read this one, but some of you all do. Storm Life Dream. This is a Marvel Voices special, and let me tell you out there, Storm sells in my store. It's not the greatest seller, and some of it's because of the covers, which they're all super great. And this week there's no, it's no different this week. There's an Olivier Coipel cover and this one, and yeah, just really nice stuff. All stories starring my favorite weather mutant, weather goddess. She's goddess, everybody. No more of that Black Panther stuff, if you know what I mean. Star Wars: A New Legacy. This is a one-shot. How exciting. It's got that real effed up Chewie and that gay robot that's evil and that gay robot evil's leader. I don't know. I'm just joking. I don't read Star Wars. Some of you do. I know those of you that do, you're going to want this. Turtles of Grayskull, number 3. This seems to be coming out late too, but it's doing really well in my store because I sure can't find any of them anymore. Yeah, Dark Horse. Screw Neil Gaiman. What if Galactus transformed Spider-Gwen? Oh my god. No, that's the thing I've been thinking all my life. Let me think about all the characters in the Marvel Universe that I would say, like, who would I want on Earth that's already got superpowers to be it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Who's the editor on these? One of you out there has the book right now. You tell me. Who's the editor on these? Who allow? It makes no goddamn sense. Okay? Well, hold on. Let me get my face on for this one. It makes no goddamn sense making a superhero an envoy of Galactus. Why wouldn't you get one? What if Nova had the power cosmic? He could fly and he flies in space already. Okay. What if Ego, the living planet? How's that? Oh my God! Think about it. What would he do? Would he make himself available for Galactus? Galactus makes Ego the planet. Okay, here it is. One of his minion, gives him the power cosmic. And all of a sudden, Ego, the living planet, is like hunting down other planets. So it's like it's worse than cannibalism. You know what I mean? He's telling other planets this is the planet. So Ego, the thing that Galactus always has in his back pocket here, Ego will always have to serve himself up on a platter for Galactus. So Galactus will never go hungry. So there you go. What if Ego, the living planet? It's the dumbest thing ever. Spider-Gwen, please come and buy it. Not only that, we've got this really great Ron Lim cover, everybody. All right. Lastly, we've got Violator number 5. Holy John Leguizamo. Remember when the Violator came in the first time? God damn, I wish I had it handy. I might not have that one. No, somewhere I do. We're going to do I always wanted to figure out which texts in comic books would make the best religious conversation if I was like, anyway, something from Todd McFarlane's writing. Ooh. That's New Comic Book Day. There's got to have been something that was good. It's a slim week, though. I mean, I will admit. But come on in and say hi. We'll have a lot more time to hang out. We'll have a lot more time to hang out. I get so lonely. But sometimes you're like, I can't really watch the show. I can't come into the store. And I know times are tough for some people. And I don't really want to read a comic book. And you think to yourself, like, well, maybe I can help you all out. And then you find out he has a Patreon page that he does almost nothing for you on. And you're like, well, you know what? Maybe that's a good way to give a tip. And it's like, the important thing is like, once you do that, you're sane.
You know, my last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen. Huh? Paisanos!
650 you change.
Ah, yes. And I always take care of my paisanos. So here's a little something.
Antonio! Sì! Vieni qua! Questa miserabile patron...
That's right. You don't want to be like George Costanza. So know that we have a wonderful Substack that is coming up. And if it hasn't already come up, I actually read it and took part in it to some degree. If not, it's coming out real soon. So sign up to our Substack. These are all the names of people that give us money monthly. Thank you very much. You have, in the very least, you have made it so that I could tell you this story about the chicken that came to Berkeley. Oh, my goodness gracious. Let me tell you, that chicken, it looked really, really good. He's like, shouldn't I leave any of this with you? I don't have no Tupperware here. No. It looked really good, though. I assume you can get it prepared differently. That would be pretty sweet, or maybe with some other stuff. And what a wonderful story I thought that was. It is, yeah. All right, Walk says, just like the chicken, I'm waiting for Aiden to. I was thinking of his name the other day. Oh my God, this is the greatest story, guys. Okay, so I'm like learning guitar. I've been doing a little over a year. And I think things are going all right. But there was this one day we were sitting out and I had the guitar out and my buddy that's been telling me stuff and Walk were outside and we were hanging out probably having a beer, giving me lessons. And this guy comes out and he's like younger than all of us and probably better looking than all of us and had hair unlike, any of us. Is in better shape. And I can't remember. He said something like, oh man, it was oh no. He asked, he's all, is that your guitar? And I'm like, yeah. He's all, do you mind if I play? And I'm kind of like looking at him and the other guys at the same time. And I've been really selfish with it at that time. And I'm like, sure. And he sits down where we have chairs. And he plays, and it's funny enough that the first thing he plays, warming up, is this one that the other guy that's there, Ryan, he's been on the show, talks about playing, and this guy kind of does it, and it's kind of like, pretty good. And I thought it was funny because, we had been talking about it not too long ago, and it's like probably because like I'm the beginner. It's like Mary Had a Little Lamb, but not that. And this guy's name is, he's all, thanks, I've been having a bad day and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, these stories about Aiden and becoming a soccer player. And it was just a funny story, man. So we getting up to it, but would you say your top comic of 2025 you read? Oh my God, I don't know why it didn't show up in my freaking pictures. God damn it. Hold on a second. We're not going anywhere. Nothing's screwed up. This is just going to focus on the awesomeness that is this comic book. No shit. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to do something I never, ever do. I'm going to share the screen of the League of Comic Assassins so that I can show you this comic. Oh, man. I am so upset. So, all right, going back to the store and these situations just that are amazing. I was outside on Sunday checking. I had already checked in the DC comics that were coming in for the week. And DC means I got Lunar and any Mad Cave and any Image and stuff like that. Of course, it's small. Let me do this. All right, we're going to do it even better than that. All right, we're going to do that. Let me just present the screen, share screen. I'm going to share this one. Boom. A Blood Squad 7, everybody. You can get this from the Image site. This is a Joe Casey written comic book. Oh my God, this is that same Sunday. So this is after Dane and the Chicken, right? Steve had left, and it was just me kind of by myself. I was waiting for the next wave of whatever, a customer to come in. There's this one guy that gets a lot of his stuff, or he has a lot of stuff, and he usually comes on Saturday or Sunday. So this was the Sunday he was coming in. And I was reading this comic, and this was freaking amazing. I cannot tell you enough how much I love the Blood Squad 7. And I explained it to this one guy, get to that in a second. And he's like, oh, that sounds like Watchmen. And I'm like, you don't even know the half of it. And I went into it. But Blood Squad 6, this comes out this week. Holy shit. You got to get 5 and you got to get 6. You got to get the trade if you haven't already. You got to get Dutch, but you just got to trust me on this. Blood Squad 7 is the superhero. You might not have known that you needed a superhero comic book. You might not have known that you needed something that wasn't Marvel or DC. But I'm telling you, you gotta read this comic. Be aware there is going to be very, very sensitive things going on in this comic, but holy shit, the way it's unraveling is freaking amazing. And there's so many different this is very good. But I'm sitting outside reading it, and I hadn't gotten through the entirety of the book, and this one boy comes up. And I say boy because he's much, much, much younger than me. Very pretty boy. And I go on inside, and, because I'm reading outside, and we go inside, and I say, is there anything I can help you? That's about a Neil Gaiman book. He pulls out American Gods. He's all, can I read this outside? And I'm like, thinking to myself, well, you could if you bought it, but it's wrapped. So that's exactly what I'm going to say. Well, it's actually wrapped right there, and it's actually number 2, and I don't have a number 1. And then I offered him another book. I can't quite remember what it was, but something that would, maybe appeal to him. And he was like, yeah, that's the way to go. And so he bought the book, and we went outside. And eventually, we talked about this one, Blood Squad 7. And I thought we were, it's cool. I'm really happy that, sometimes when you're meeting somebody for the very first time, especially when they're younger than you, kids can be so scary, so, we're talking, having a good time. This young woman, his age-ish, comes up. Very cute. I recognize her because I had ordered Berserks with her in mind, but never got any information. She comes up, says hi to him, says hi to me. And I said, I know what you're here for. And she's, oh, you got them in? I'm like, yeah. So we went inside, and she purchased them, and he introduced himself to me. She introduced herself to me. And I'm all, oh, that's great. And she's all, actually, I used to shop with you when I was a little girl. And I'm like, oh my God. When I was a little girl. And I'm all, oh, really? And she's all, yeah. And she said her mother's name. And it was funny because let me do. So it was funny because her mother was really cool. She would come in and like drunk buy stuff. You know what I mean? Um, and then regret it. And can I return this? I'm like, yeah, no problem. And she was cool. She was very musical. And I told her daughter that, oh, I think of her often. She introduced me to Lowell George, which I had never heard before, or Little Feat. Still haven't. And I was like, now that I'm like doing this guitar bit, it would be cool if she knew that. And I said that I was like, well, yeah, your mom, did she like force you to play music? She's all, yeah. But I'm a DJ. Well, all right, way to go. You kids rock. So probably Blood Squad 7 right off the bat. Also, right after that, I went back up. So I'm like, I'm in a good mood. Things are great. I'm like, I could do a little bit more work, or I could read the rest of Blood Squad 7. And I read the rest of Blood Squad 7. And I was like, oh my God, I got to go and email Joe Casey to let him know how much I enjoy this book and how much the cover of the second book, the following issue, really makes me want to read what's going to happen. And I get on my Gmail, which I'm very rarely on, and Joe Casey has emailed me, right? All of this stuff, right? All on Sunday. And he's given me a preview copy of Weapon X-Men #1. Pretty awesome issue. Pretty darn good. There's definitely an inker for you people that like that type of stuff. And who the hell's the artist? Chris Cross is the artist. And he's amazing. And it looks really good. A little bit different than some of his other stuff, but he's still really, really good. And Joe Casey, still really, really good. And I just love the symmetry of Sunday. So, you too could be a part of this stupidity. Fiddle Chips. Story about rotisserie chicken. New comics must be killing it. I saved that. How dare you? I put the best of last week first. Oh, Grey Crow. Thank you very much. Black Cranston is still in the book, or is in that's the Chewie's name, and Tiagra is in the book still. All right, good. They still doing it. They still getting nasty. Is that what's going on? What are you trying to make me upset, Lane? Seriously? How dare you? Oh, you know what I want? I want a really shitty Captain America series. Let's get Ron Lim to draw it. Oh, wait. That's most of the Captain America anyway. Why does Violator have a book miniseries? He has a good villain to show up at points. I agree. There's also going to be 2. It's just a miniseries, 1 more issue. There's going to be 2 more Spawn series starting up soon. I don't know if they're minis or not. And they just had Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn that started up. So Tom McFarlane ain't saying less, he's saying more. But if you enjoy the Spawn universe, $2.99 usually, $3.99, and $4.99 for the really thick ones. Pretty good deals. $2.99 still? Am I right? I think I'm right. Yeah, that's right. I am like Bugs Bunny. I agree. Jeez. I like Ron. All right, firstly, Lane, anytime I'm making fun, I'm just making fun. But you know what? If you are a fan of a person that did a George Pizarro book, which is a friend of mine in high school, it's just screwing around. My buddy, I had a friend. He's like, Sienkiewicz, this guy looks like my 13-year-old sister drawing. Just the concept of that blows my mind. You know what I mean? But I never really make fun of anybody for liking something. And I can totally see why a person likes him. He got the work done. I mean, that's the number one thing you have to be as a comic book artist. You crapping over Lim, and of course, the West Workman, the best workman artist, Mark Bagley, the artist of Spider-Man. There you go. I wasn't even reading this until just now. No. You don't understand. I, as a person who never got to work at Marvel, if I got to do a Spider-Man comic book, hell, fun. I'm trying to think of a really lame character, and I'm not going to say Quasar. Okay. I'm not going to say what they've made Moon Knight these days. I'm going to do an Alpha Flight comic book. Poor Alpha Flight. I love Alpha Flight. My buddy Mike, who worked at the store, he said, or sang famously, "Alpha Flight, nobody loves you." And that's primarily true. And you gotta just admit it. So if I knew I was writing a story about Sasquatch, right? And I found out that Ron Lim was going to be drawing it, that Mark Bagley was going to be drawing it, dude, you know what the best part about those guys were? They got that stuff done. And it usually looked exactly like it needed to look to convey the picture. But when you get into superstars, the next level, Mark Bagley just can't reach it. Ron Lim can't reach it. I mean, do you realize John J. Muth did Silver Surfer? Do you realize that Marshall Rogers did Silver Surfer before Ron Lim? Ron Lim had to follow George Perez on Infinity Gauntlet. These are monumental tasks. The person like Ron Lim should even come close. He should never have to be in those positions ever. That is like you've got a world heavy wrestler and then you got me going against him. You know what I mean? That's how far the difference between George Perez and Ron Lim is. It's I don't even know if Ron Lim, if he got on a 12-foot ladder, could touch George Perez. And that's when George Perez wasn't even, I think, at his best, which was much later when he got looser. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I, as a person who has never worked in comics substantially, being able to do something and make sure, look, you're going to get 6 issues. Why the hell did we give you 6 issues of anything? And you're going to get Mark Bagley. Holy shit, Mark Bagley's going to get it done lickety split. You know what I mean? Done. It's going to get done. It's going to get made. Before Marvel realizes what they've done, it's already done. Ron Lim. Oh man, can we do some ode to your X-Mutants days? Oh, that would be so sweet. Just not top notch. Recently it was Luke or Keith Pollard's birthday. I'm not really on X right now. I've kind of taken a break from it. So I don't know if there's people trying to talk to me or not. And they know how to get a hold of me, or at least some people do. The show, by the way. No. I can't agree to Luke Pollard being like an all-time great. You know, someone a little bit older than Ron Lim. Luke Pollard was my day, or Keith Pollard. See, I can't even remember the difference between him and Luke McDonald. Keith Pollard better than Luke McDonald. Keith Pollard did some of my favorite Thors. My favorite Thors are him. Jim Mooney did some of my favorite Spider-Mans. Am I going to put Jim Mooney at the same table as John Romita? Steve Ditko? Todd McFarlane? Hell, does Todd McFarlane and I don't even think he gets close to those other ones. You know, John Romita Jr. is way higher. You know what I mean? We all know that Eric Larson will be throwing food regardless. I've gone on too long. Let me do this one. All right. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. We got 19 people. Let me go to comments really quick. Has anybody said anything that... Let me see. Battle Buddy, Keith Pollard, or Ernie Chan. Which do you like more? Okay, so there's Ernie Chan, and then he was Ernie Chang also. And he's one of those famous Filipino artists that DC brought over in the 70s, if I remember correctly. And Ernie Chan's a good artist. You probably know his art, whether or not you know that he did it. I think he did Power Man, or maybe it was something that was B or C tier at Marvel in the 70s. And then over at DC, he did Batman and Brave and the Bold, I think, and all sorts of stuff. Sometimes covers. Really good. Keith Pollard, again, did one of my favorite Thors. 290s to 300. Just say 290 to 300. It's that whole his history through other gods and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Kind of like the history of gods. Let me drink some water so I don't throw up in the morning. So I'm going to say, I'm more of a Marvel guy, and I really know Ernie Chang more for his DC stuff. But of course, there's a lot of Savage Sword and Black and White stuff that he probably did also that I can't think of. But Keith Pollard, probably. This is not a slight on Keith Pollard. I just can't put him in like a stratosphere. We say the word legend. We need a word for a guy. I wish I could say legend. Not everybody deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and it's cool because it sucks to not be in the Hall of Fame, but it's cool for the people that are in and all the people that like that stuff. And then when you finally get in, it's all the more important. This isn't football where everybody gets in. Like where linemen get in, you know what I mean? This isn't the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where hip hop people get in. It's just ridiculous. I think they keep the monkeys out. Can you fucking believe that? Don't quote me on that. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me and my drunken escapades. I'll be with you tomorrow at the comic book store to sell you a bunch of new stuff. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Lucy and Ramona cruising through the jungles of L.A. Hoping to promote a dream somewhere along the way. They're rolling through the streets, looking for a disco, passing up the treats from a kid named Cisco, trying to make connections with their blemish-free complexions. And just as fate would have it, ended up with Sunset Sam. And Lucy and Ramona were trying to figure out if he was gay. The three of them were standing, staring at each other, when the light behind their eyes blew each other's cover. The ancient code was branded, and each of them was handed a ticket to their kingdom, 'cause they saw their brother sunset sing. Sunset Sam. Lucy was from Compton, and she met Ramona at the zoo. Ramona was from Brooklyn. She left when she was 22. Sam was a native of the Arizona desert, but he split when he was slated for some governmental make-work. Their differences subsided when the common bond was sighted. They were all from the same place.